Hey, I finally got unmuted. I'm not going to ask you to read lips today. So, hey, that's an improvement. Let me start with a story here while folks are coming into the Zoom room. This is our Monday session. This is Monday Market Picking Monday. We're going to pick a market. We're going to do a live scrape of data, okay, on Craigslist for rent section. We're going to show you live right here what you should be doing. Last week we showed you the Zillow for sale by owner scrape. Today we're showing you the Craigslist for rent section. Okay, so my objective here, my goal here, I hope to accomplish is to show you how easy it is to produce leads. Okay. If you mimic me, if you take the information that we have been showing you and you go home and duplicate it, go home. You are home. Okay, you are home. All right, after this, if you duplicate what I show you, you should have more than enough leads every single week. Okay. Last week, for goodness sake, if you just duplicated what I did last week, you got almost a month's worth of leads. Okay. Now, let me read a story to you. I said I was going to read a story. This is a short story. Let's see if this sounds like anybody you know. Okay. I need to wash my car. So as I start towards the garage, I notice there's mail on the hall table. So I decide to go through the mail before I wash the car. Okay. I put my car keys down on the table, put the junk mail in the trash under the table, and notice that the trash can is full. So I decide to put the bills back on the table and take out the trash first. But then I say to myself, since I'm going to be near the mailbox, when I take out the trash anyway, I might as well pay the bills first. So I take my checkbook off the table and see that there's only one check left. So my extra checks are in the desk in my study. So I go to the desk where I find a bottle of Coke that I'd been drinking this morning. I'm about to look for my checks. But first, I need to push the Coke bottle aside so I wouldn't accidentally knock it over. I noticed that the Coke is getting warm, so I decide that I should just go ahead and put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold. So I head towards the kitchen with the Coke. A vase of flowers is on the counter and it catches my eye. They need to be watered. So as I put the Coke down on the counter, I notice my reading glasses, which I've been looking for all morning. I decide I had better take them back to my desk, but first I must water the flowers. I put the glasses back down on the counter. I fill a container with water when I suddenly spot the TV remote. Somebody had left the TV remote on the kitchen table, and I realized that tonight when we go to watch TV, we'll be looking for the remote, but nobody will remember that it's on the kitchen table. So I decide to take it back to the TV room where it belongs. But first, I got to water these flowers. So I splash some water on the flowers, but most of it spills on the floor. So I put the remote back down on the table and I get some towels to wipe up the spill. Then I head down the hall trying to remember why I'm going that way and what I was planning to do. But by now it's the end of the day and the car still isn't washed. The bills aren't paid. There's a warm bottle of Coke sitting on the counter. The flowers aren't watered. There's still only one check in my checkbook. I can't find the remote. I can't find my reading glasses. And I don't remember what I did with the car keys. I try to figure out why nothing got done today. I'm really baffled because I know I was busy all day long, and now I'm really, really tired. I realize this is a serious problem, and I'm going to try to get some help for it, but first I got to check my email. The end. Did you follow that? That was like following that dude around for a day. All he wanted to do was get to washing the car. Okay. Now, maybe all you want to do is get to making phone calls and see this happens to all of us. We go to do this and then this, oh, well, we need to do this first. And oh, well, there's the flowers, they need watered. And then, oh, well, yeah, I better pay the bills. And then there's checks. I need to go get more checks, put them in the checkbook. And then by the time by the next thing you know, the whole day is gone and you still haven't made phone calls. Guys, one of the biggest keys to success in this business is being consistent. Okay. So hopefully you can mimic what we're showing you here and become more consistent. All right. I want you to be in a position of having more than enough leads. Too many. Okay. Don't be obsessive compulsive about it. I don't know if any of you are old enough to be from the generation where mama used to say, you clean your plate. Y'all want to hear some crazy stories? I shouldn't tell this crazy story because it's on. We're recording this, but my mom always used to say, "You clean your plate. You eat your vegetables. You clean your plate." Man, that's hard to do sometimes when you're a kid. Now, I didn't do that to my kids. I should have. Okay, I didn't. I wasn't like you clean. You finish them French fries and them chicken nuggets. My mom was like, you finish that broccoli. That's what it was like when I was a kid. You don't finish that broccoli, I'll wrap saran wrap on it and I'll save it for you for later. And when you're hungry for a snack later on, you'll get that broccoli. That's what mom used to say. Woo, she was tough. How do we get off on that? I don't know. Love you guys. Good to see you. Good to see you today. Glad everybody's here. Let's jump right in. Nicholas Gonzalez.
What's up,
Nicholas
man?
Gonzalez. What's going on, man? I love your background.
That's pretty cool, huh?
That is way cool.
Yeah, I think it's like a site like Canva. It's called Plaster My Wall, I think it's called, and they had like a bunch of different Zoom backgrounds, and so this was one of them. And I was like, that's awesome. I gotta download that one.
And it had your name on it already?
Yeah, because it's the best name ever. No, I had to put my name. But you can put it whatever you want, and
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's way cool.
Yeah.
So every Monday lately, we've had a segment in our VIP Q&A where Nicholas has shown us some crafty tricks of the trade, and today is going to be no exception to that. So what do you have for us today, Nicholas?
I wanted to share. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. In stuff that kind of what we do in the VIP club, where we implement Claude's phone magic, if you will, with the gut system. And I've kind of taken it and just to get other pieces for myself to make it flow better for me, and where I don't get stuck on a lot of questions. And I got into Chris Voss's Never Split the Difference book. And if people don't know who Chris Voss is, it's just a quick little thing about him. He's one of the top FBI negotiators for the Bureau. And now he kind of created his own thing called Black Swan. And it's basically teaching all the tactics of like the FBI negotiators. And one of the things that I found out that in reading his book and then going through with Claude stuff is when we get sellers on the phone, it's always kind of difficult to, what questions do we ask? We get nervous when we set up the agenda. We kind of like, some people freeze up and they don't know exactly how to keep the conversation engaging. And one of the things he has is that Chris Voss teaches is called labeling. And it's basically right here on the screen here. You can see it sounds like, it looks like, it feels like, it seems like. And you stick that in front of everything that you want to say in the very beginning, and they'll start just kind of giving their information away, basically. And it's not that you're having to pull tooth and nail for it or you keep prying for it. It's a psychological thing that will get them just to start sharing. And it makes them feel understood. This whole process that Chris teaches, it makes the person who's speaking feel understood, that you really do get their issues and their problems. And the perfect thing with us is that we can get that, and once we feel that we have enough information to go off of, then we can switch on the gear of guts tactics and start kind of doing the maybe nots and the Claude stuff for our closing. So I kind of did a little example here of some stuff. So like I said, for it to sounds like, it looks like, it feels like, seems like, in the beginning, you could say, looks like, once you set the agenda, the first thing is, no, regardless, whatever you do, set the agenda. But I suggest that you do that in your own way, and not just kind of verbatim as that we have in our phone scripts. Just kind of call them up, and however you feel like saying it that day is the way you're going to say it. Hey, this is for what I do most of the time. Hey, I'm looking for the property. I'm looking at the Zillow property, 123 Main Street. I just want to make sure I have the right number. Yeah, this is the right number. I was like, okay, great. Who am I speaking with, by the way? Like, oh, this is Kathy. Hey, Kathy, listen, my name's Nick, and I'm a real estate investor. Listen, real quick, I just want to see if I can ask some questions. I just want to see if this is going to be a good fit for either one of us. Is that going to be all right with you? Like, yeah, okay. And then, okay, just like, hey, at any point, if you don't like what I'm saying, let me know. And then we can figure out where we were friends, or we can get back on track with that. And they'll just start like, okay. But it's like, I'm not, so that way it's just different from like, hey, if you just want to tell me no, or hey, if you want to, fire me, we want to make sure that we sound unique in our own way of doing it. So like, for an example, when I put like, so after I go through the agenda, I could say like, looks like it's a great house. What's got you selling now? And always, it's always kind of a difficult thing. Sometimes they're just reluctant to tell you. And I know a lot of us would freeze up in the very beginning of something like that. And we wouldn't know how to ask them that. But in that question, they're going to start answering. And then for another, kind of like a role play example, if based on the response, I would say something like, it sounds like you're ready to plant your flag at your new house and be done with this one. But it's not so much just saying it. One thing that Chris emphasizes too, and I strongly suggest checking him out on YouTube. He's on various podcasts, but it's the tone of voice. So he would say, sounds like you're ready to plant your flag at your new place, and you're ready to be done with this one. It's soothing. It's I am ready to be done. I'm ready to move on. I got my bags packed. My wife's got to transfer. We need to move. And it says, so, seems like you're, there's no turning back. You're ready to do this. Like, yeah, I am. Okay. Now, you kind of get them talking now. And then the other thing to kind of, if they're not really giving you so many answers, like their answers are short, bags are packed. We're ready to go. And that's the next part, is mirroring. And I know Justin, Claude have talked about this at length at times, and it's for good reason. It's very effective. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it really is. And it's just really just kind of catching the last three words of they say in the phrase, and it gets them to kind of talk a little bit more about what they're, they'll go into more of an explainer mode, just how like some of us as sellers will get the as what Claude says, diarrhea of the mouth. They'll start just kind of going off explaining things to you, just to make sure that we understand it clearly. And for an example of that, mirroring is repeating the last three words of what kind of like what I just said. This makes them feel understood and will validate your listening skills. It sounds minor, but it's extremely effective. And then for my example, extremely effective. And you go like, yeah. And then the person will kind of go off and explaining things. Now, at this point, you should have gathered, like, just by doing this, we'll probably have all the why, the timing, and the money all answered, just because they're going to go at length explaining things. And the most important thing is they're going to feel understood. And that's key, because then we go into the calibrated questions. Before we get that, we get the commitment. What if I was to do something that kind of covered all that, took care of all those things? Would you be the only person that would need to make the decision on this today, or what would happen next? And we're like, yeah, I'm the only decision maker. Okay, now you're going to go into the calibrated questions, what if I did the lease option, or what if I took over your payments, or whatever your strategy is, or whatever the purpose, however that call, flowed, but you would do that. And one cool little thing that I'll and I'm going to give these notes into the Facebook group and to here on the Zoom thing.
Awesome.
But one of the things, like if they like for a calibrated question, it's like if they're reluctant to sell, they don't, they're just not wanting to do it, or they're just you're getting them to two no's, and you want to kind of get them to talk a little bit more, to say, how long do you want this to sit on the market? Well, it's a hot market. We're going to get the offer. Well, how many offers have you gotten in this hot market? And you just instantly fire it back at them, but it's in a way where it's not aggressive. It's just kind of like making them trigger their mind where, you know what, he's right. How many offers do I really do have? And if they say, well, I'm going to need all $325,000 for my house. And, and one of the Chris's things, he'll say, how am I supposed to do that? And then they'll probably say, well, just buy it or go get a loan and go buy my house. And one of the things that I kind of put in here, which was for like an objection, is, how am I supposed to do that? Which, buying it at the full price would lower my marketing budget to find, more eyes on the property, which would prevent me putting that money in your pocket in the long run. So how am I supposed to do that? Where do we go from here? And they'll just kind of, well, and they're going to give you, well, I need this and I need to move now. And it's kind of just reconfirming themselves. Will start reconfirming why they got to sell this house. And then you can go in again with, listen, like for an example, it sounds like we would be pleased with getting out as quick as possible, and with as much money you can put in your pocket from this deal. That's right. And with Chris's thing, his teaching is, you want to get them to say that's right, because that's where you've brought them to the finish line. They feel like, this guy gets me. He understands it. That's it. That is what I need, And then that's when I had, for like here as an example, continued, what if we lease this to me 18, 24 months before I can cash you out at that full asking price, putting all that money in your pocket like you wanted? Would that be something you would consider, or maybe not? But we've already kind of gone through all of it, where I've brought them this far and they realize it and they feel understood. They're going to feel like I am really listening. I am really trying to solve this problem. And it's going to feel, the validation is going to be there. So I even did a role play with Justin this weekend over it, and in using these tactics, and what was great is that even Justin said, he's like, I felt like you got me. I felt like you understood my issues, and you heard me, and you were really trying to solve everything as best as possible. And so this stuff really does work. I've even tried it with, right now I work full time for the county, doing drug and alcohol assessments. And so I had a client call, he got a DWI, and he unfortunately had to go through classes and things like that. And he called and he started cursing me out. And I just said, you seem upset. Well, yeah, I'm upset. It was like, and I said, sounds like you're really needing some guidance. And he says, well, yeah, I don't know what to do in this, F and this, F and that. And I just said, well, you're right, man. No one knows how hard this is. This is difficult, especially, being, in a pandemic. You can't just go to the office and talk to somebody. You got to do everything virtually. So yeah. Let me help you out. Let me see what I can do. Let's just kind of, work on this together. That way we can get you in and out as quick as possible. But I never said the word I understand. And I don't like it when people do that to me. And I know this, when I started doing it on making calls, and I would say, yeah, I understand. And immediately their attitude would change, especially on the FSBO. They would get kind of like, no, you don't. You just want the property. Like, no, you don't understand. And so if you just give them that tactical empathy of, like saying, yeah, it sucks. You're trying to sell your house. You're trying to get out there. It is what it is. But how about we figure out what's the best way to help you out with that today? That make you feel, comfortable? Like, would you mind if I tried helping you out with this? So I'm saying I understand, but I'm saying it in a whole different way. It's going to, it doesn't feel intrusive. It doesn't feel aggressive. It's going to really make it feel like I'm listening to them. So I just wanted to drop that in there. And I'd be happy to role play with anybody, and all that stuff at another time, because I actually only have 10 minutes on my lunch break and I got to get back to work. But I wanted to drop this in here and share. Let me go ahead and before I forget real quick, let me put that on the notes here. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm gonna put the thing here in the notes where, you know, people can get it. So yeah, but you know, for you guys making your calls this week, if y'all want to try that and just see if that works for you, and maybe you can notice a difference in the tone of the seller and your approach, that maybe it wasn't as hard to get those answers from your questions as we once thought, you know, just by asking those little questions.
Yeah, guys, I do a lot of studying outside of, well, I study guts. Okay, I'm a guts guy. Okay, but there are other trainers and teachers besides Claude and myself that teach sales and teach. Actually, Chris Voss, he's referring to, is a hostage negotiator. Okay, not even sales, but a lot of the same principles apply. Okay, a lot of the same techniques apply, and you'll find a lot of those same techniques in Guts 2.0. Okay, which Claude came out with this year. Pretty awesome. All right, you should check that out if you haven't seen that too. Okay, but my point is that it's okay to study these other guys. Okay, and learn. If you want to be a professional on the phone, great. A real lethal threat. Okay, if you want to be a lyrical assassin on the phone, then you'll be studying a lot of various different people. I'm reading some books right now written by other people, you know, some old stuff and some new stuff too. And I'm always trying to sharpen that axe. You know, Abraham Lincoln said, if I were going to chop down a tree, Abraham Lincoln said, if I was going to chop down a cherry tree, I could not tell a lie. I would sharpen my axe for an hour and then chop it for 2. I don't know. I would sharpen my axe for 6 hours and chop it for 1. I think that's what he said. Yeah. So sharpen your axe, guys. That was good stuff. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Appreciate it, brother. I know you got to get back to work, man. But thanks for sharing that. He's going to put those notes in the Facebook group for the VIP club, and he put it here in the chat room.
Yeah, they're in both. Yeah,
in the chat room, in the Zoom room for the VIP members here today.
And if anybody has any questions, like, can you hit me up on the Facebook Messenger VIP stuff, and I'll be happy to, you know, answer any questions, and yeah, I just, you know, hope it brings some value to you guys on the phones and helps y'all out.
Yeah, it's cool. Anybody got questions or comments or anything real quick before he's got to run?
Yeah, I got a question real quick, Justin and Nicholas. The gentleman's name is Chris Boss. You said BOSS?
That's right.
Like Victor OSS.
Okay.
Yep. It's good to see everybody here today. Larry, Nicholas, Lou, Alex, Steve, Rick, Mark, Anthony, Harold, Curtis, Mary, Joe, Aaron, Sandra, and I think Harold. I don't know if I said Harold. Everybody that's here, thank you. God bless you for being here. Thanks for being here. Any other questions or comments for, and LaShonda's popping in here. Any questions, comments for Nicholas before he goes? Okay.
Nick, thank you so much for sharing that. That's great, I think. And I like what you said about when people say, I understand, you know, because they're not in the same shoes. You know, right. they try and help by that, but it doesn't really help. You're right, the seller or the person on the other end doesn't feel that they truly do. So, you know, it doesn't help matters.
Right. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Either that, because I always try to figure out a way around it, and I couldn't, for the life of me, couldn't figure it out until it was one of the podcasts that he was on, and he talked about, like, he's like, I dread the I don't understand. He's like, that would like kill every negotiation that we did for hostages. Because and in fact there's one story, and I'll try to sum it up real quick, but it was a kidnapping done in like the Philippines, and they wanted $10 million. And so he kept negotiating, and they did 2 different calls, but that the hostage, the I don't know what you would call him, the kidnapper. Here you go, kidnapper. Had requested to speak to Chris, and then so when he got Chris on the phone, he was telling him like, "You really understood me. Where do I drop the kid off?" And he didn't have to pay no ransom money. There was no money exchange. He just gave him the kid. And he said, it's because you really understood my point, what I was trying to get. You validated me, and I appreciate that. And so he was just like, from there on out, he never used the word I understand, because it would always kill it in the heartbeat.
Wow, that's so good to know.
That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, lots of great information out of Chris Voss. He's got a YouTube channel. You should subscribe. And yeah, anything you pick up from that guy's good stuff, good materials. I've studied quite a bit of it myself, and implemented some of it myself, and some of it you guys have heard me regurgitate.
What is his name again?
Chris Voss, V like Victor, OSS. All right, guys. Cool. Anything jumping off in your business that we can handle real quick before I jump into Craigslist for rent today and market picking and all of that?
What's up, Justin?
What's going on, LaShonda?
I'm busy with your leads.
Really? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so was it Friday or Thursday? After I got it, I waited around to probably about 4:30, and I start, working. It wasn't a whole lot to say yes. It's a little bit all over the place. I called a couple people that did say yes, but we didn't really get nothing going on. They wanted, like one lady, she wanted over what the market was, which was crazy. She wanted over what the market was. And then another guy, he was on board at first, but then he said that he wanted to, I guess he had spoke to someone prior to me calling him, and he was wanting to see if whoever was trying to make an offer on it, if it was going to go through, because he said that he had been trying to sell it for a while.
Yeah.
And he wasn't necessarily going to say no, because he didn't know if the other people were going to get it. So
okay,
I kind of got him in the pipeline. Okay. I told him I would do a follow-up with him, just to see where he was at. And then everybody else, it was pretty well much like a no.
Okay.
They were wanting their money right then and there. They wanted to cash out. They didn't want to do no type of turns. They didn't want to do no type of none of that. I mean, you know how it goes.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand, and I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I'm glad somebody's working those leads, though. So I want to say thank you for that. I'm not surprised that none of them were quote unquote low hanging fruit. Okay.
Right.
Typically, at the 500 to 1,000 range, text blasting the way that I've been showing, you could expect 1 to 2 a month. Okay. I don't know what week that may come in, but you at least had one that would maybe qualify for a follow-up, you say, he was kind of on board, but he had this other thing that he wanted to follow through with first. And okay. So all okay. I think that's fine. Does anybody have any comments or questions about that? She's referring to working some of the leads that we generated last week, using the Zillow for sale by owner scrape and text blast. Remember, I gifted those to LaShonda, and she's been working those. And so she's just giving us a little feedback on some of her experience with that. So I appreciate that, LaShonda.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of threw me was because normally when I text, I know the person's name.
Yeah.
So and it was a lot of leads that had came back. And so I said, okay, well, I could either go and look all these up and see what their names are, or wait and talk to them and see if it's a real good deal, and then go back
Yeah.
and look them up. So I decided to go back and look them up
Yeah.
after, I
Yep.
talked to them and see what was up.
Yep.
But I didn't. I was trying not to sound like I didn't know who I was talking to or whatever. But I mean,
I
for the
understand.
most part, it was pretty cool. It was just like I said, most of them they wasn't gonna budge as far as doing any type of terms.
I understand. Yep. And that's how it goes sometimes, guys. I hear no a lot. All right.
Yeah,
And
with that Zillow scraping that you did last week, I did the same thing. And yesterday I got a special request I never got before. And that guy said he wanted $5 PayPal to make sure that I'm real, that I'm not from the Philippines.
yeah, that's funny. That's an interesting one. I've never gotten that one.
Yeah, I just got
I sent him $5. I got an appointment with him though. I sent him $5. I got an appointment.
Boom, dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
I sent him $5. I did.
Wow, what a story.
I just had one question on the paperwork on the JV thing that Brandon did the other day.
Yeah.
He said that, okay, you were saying that we needed the contract. Well, we supposed to get a copy of the contract from the wholesaler's seller, right?
Yeah.
And then we needed the
base contract
agreement, which was the JV agreement that he had given us, right?
Yeah.
That's the option agreement.
Yep.
Okay. And then he said the B and C contract. Do you have the B and C contract, is that a regular purchase and sales agreement?
That's an assignment agreement.
That's what he's calling the B and C contract?
Yes.
But then I thought you said the contract, which was from the seller, basically.
Yep.
And then the option. And then I thought he said the B and C, then the assignment. Because that's what was throwing me.
No. The B and C is the assignment. Yep. That's what ties B and C together, is that assignment agreement. Yep.
And that's with the buyer, right? That's with your buyer.
That's with the end buyer.
Okay, so the original contract is the wholesaler's contract with the seller.
Bingo.
And then the option contract is between you and the wholesaler.
Yes.
And then the assignment contract is the contract that you're signing between you and the end buyer. And that's
ding,
all.
Ding, 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 ding,
That's
ding.
it, right?
You nailed it.
Okay. Thank you. I thought he said something else. I'm like, that don't sound right.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question. Yep. No problem. Any other questions real quick, guys? Anything else? Comments, stories? All right. Hey, Carl, you're VIP. He's watching. He's like, how do I get in a Zoom room? Dude, it's type in your browser www.zoomjustin.com. Zoomjustin.com. If it asks for a password, the password's money. It's always that, every time. Okay. So you won't forget after you've done it a couple, 2 or 3 times. That's why we set it up like that. Because there is an ID, and I can give you the ID. You're asking for the ID number. I can get that to you, but I'll have to look it up, man, because I can't remember that code. It's just like a bunch of numbers. Okay, so that's why I built that Zoom Justin. So hopefully that Zoom Justin works for you. If not, I'm sorry, I don't have it right now, but I'll get it to you as soon as I wrap up here, man. All right.
Hey Justin, when you go to Zoom, all you got to do is hit number 3, and then your name comes up. That's how I do it every time.
Huh.
Your first number, it's like 389 something. I just hit 3, and Justin Janice comes right up. So.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it is like 389 something.
Yeah, I don't know what the rest of them are either, but
yeah,
it just makes it easy for anybody,
Yeah, that's great. Great tip. Thank you, Joe. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I ended up getting that damn virus, and I was in the hospital for almost a week. Yeah, it sucked. About a month I was down. So
that does suck. My kid has it right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all quarantined up, right?
Well, yeah, I was like down for a month, so I'm just back into it. So
my mom and dad
my
had it.
ass. Yeah, it kicked my ass. So I was pretty sick. So
Yeah,
but I'm back. I'm ready to go, man.
it's a bad bug, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. Exactly.
Yeah. You guys see the whiteboard that I'm sharing here? Okay. Mary said it's 389-133-7964. Okay. That's the code. Thank you, Mary. All right. You guys know in the deal factory, you got a factory and it produces deals. Okay. You got a data machine. All right. You got to get data from somewhere. Last week we got data from Zillow Scrape for sale by owners. All right. Then you got an outbound message machine. Okay. Sometimes I just call that the text machine. And we talked about that. It has to be congruent with the data. Last week we came up with 15. I shared that. 15 new text messages that don't have the bad words in it. Y'all, tomorrow we're going to talk about the bad words. I'm going to show you the bad words. We're going to play with the bad words. We're going to conquer the bad words. We're going to overcome the bad words. And then we're going to have some more text messages. Okay. So tomorrow we're working on text blasting what we're scraping today. But anyway, that's what we're doing tomorrow. So data machine, we're going to get today for the Craigslist for rent section. Last week, it was the Zillow for sale by owner section. It could be PropStream. It could be a number of different things, but that's what we've done so far and what we're doing today. The outbound messages we're going to set up tomorrow. Now, what's machine number 3? The pre-qualification call. Okay. Now you can outsource this. You can do it yourself. All right. If you're a strong person on the phone, you can skip that and just go right into the closer. That's machine 4. These 4 things are the only 4 things that contribute to your deal getting machine. Your deal getting factory only has these 4 machines. You may be doing a number of different things with these 4 machines, but it only has these 4 machines. Now, if you feed it Zillow for sale by owners over here on the data side, as things flow, they flow left to right here. Okay. So I'm gonna draw an arrow here. They flow left to right. So you feed data in, and then you create a message that you outbound. Then you adjust your pre-qualification script to make sense to those messages and that data. And then you have leads that you can call and close. Okay. I do a considerable number of scrapes every week. Your goal should be to do 500 to 1,000 per week. Okay. They're target numbers. That will get you 1 or maybe 2 deals a month. Okay. That's simple. So if you can put this into your schedule, what we showed you last week, what we're showing you this week, either one or both techniques, the Zillow for sale by owner or the Craigslist that we're going to show you today. Excuse me. Or maybe next week, that technique, or the week after. Okay. Or maybe you just do exactly as we're doing it, and you do these techniques in rotation, and you always have fresh ponds to fish in. Okay.
What's up, Dustin?
Yeah. What's up, brother?
Yeah, man.
I'm listening to you, Rashik. What's up?
Ready like Freddy.
Okay, brother. All right, man. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Okay. So let me share screens and let's jump right in to this automated REI. By the way, Wednesday night we have Nick coming back on. special session where he's going to show us the actual training video that he uses to train his virtual assistants with his commentary. Okay, he's live. Your Q&A live. Okay, about this guy. No one trained their VA better than this dude. Okay, that's why I'm having him on, because it's going to be remarkable material. If you can make it Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central, same Zoom room, VIP, and otherwise that night it's cool. If you're not even VIP, if you want to join in on that. Okay, so let's see here. Last week we did Zillow for sale by owner. This week we're doing Craigslist for rent by owner. Last week, this is the market that we did for the Zillow for rent by owner. You can see this stuff right here. Week 1, Zillow for sale by owner, and these are the counties and the numbers. Okay, so bless you. All right, automated REI. I'm going to sign in. Let's just get started. Signing in. Okay, over here to the left, I'm going to scroll down, and you can see it's Craigslist scraping button. I'm going to click that. That's going to bring me here to a form where I can start creating a campaign. And I'm going to do Missouri number 1. I'm just going to pick Missouri because that's my home state. You could do, I recommend the flyover states as you start moving around in your virtual lease options, wholesaling business. All right.
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
Hey, not to interrupt, man, but do you have some sort of radio or something playing in the background?
Yeah, I must, man. It must have that button where you can share computer sound. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was clicked.
No, it's all good, man. I heard something. I was trying to figure out if it was me or what was happening. Thanks, man. Sorry for the interruption.
Was it drowning me out the whole time?
Not drowning you out,
but it was a little annoying.
Yeah.
Was it like elevator music? Like
yeah, like somebody about to start crying.
Yeah, very ambient, you know. I feel your soul. And it's
But my God, I'm so busted. I swear, I listened to this fucking spa radio all day, every day. I love it, man. I can't stop. Won't stop.
But hey, glad you're
strange?
back. No, it's good, man. It keeps you in that. Just give it a little tappy.
Hey, good thoughts in, bad thoughts out. Circular.
Shaolin priest mode.
Feel the flow. Ride the bull. Okay.
All right, back on track.
Sorry, guys and gals. All right, here we are. Automated REI. I'm going to slide down to the left. The Craigslist scraping button. I'm going to click that button. It opens up this form. I'm going to call this one Missouri 1. You could do any. I recommend the flyover states though if you're being virtual. That's where I was. Okay. I'm not going to do the default scraping. See, look what it lets me do, though. I could go over here and pick apartments, housing for rent. I could go over here. I could search the state. I could slide down to Missouri. It's different than Zillow because Craigslist is set up different than Zillow, okay, and how they present their market, you know, and all that. So, you know, that's the variations you see here. It's not something that automated REI chose to do. It's just the nature of the beast. Now, the city, I could go down here and select Kansas City or Columbia, Joplin, Kirksville. Now, see, these are the same areas that last week we did. By the way, we did these areas on the Zillow for sale by owner last week. I remember looking at the map and then picking the counties, and I remember Kansas City, of course. I remember Joplin. I remember Springfield. So here we are. We're kind of going back into the same markets with this tool, okay? And that's okay. There's no problem with that. Nothing wrong with that. So let's go ahead and pick a city. I'm not gonna continue with this because I'll show you why. I could go over here and adjust the time, and then I could come down here and I could click filters. and I could go through here and I could try to find, what kind of housing. Okay, that's the right one. Housing type. I want to make sure I do house, and let's see what else. Maybe slide down a little bit here. Is there anything else? Let's just go with house. I could do more. Okay, long story short, get down here to the bottom, hit submit. I'm still going to end up with a bunch of crap I don't want. I'm still going to get a bunch of crap I don't want. Most likely. All right. So here's how you should do it. Let's go to Craigslist. Let's go to Springfield, Missouri. I could go anywhere. Okay. I'm just going to go to Springfield, for example. All right. Actually, let's not even do that. Let's just go to Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri. All right. Now, over here in the housing section, I'm going to go down here and click housing, apartments/housing. All right. Now, that pulls up all of the apartments and houses and everything that's for rent month to month. Okay. Now, that's not what I want, though, because I don't want all the apartments and lofts and condos and, I don't want the realtors. I don't want the property management companies. I definitely don't want apartments contacting me back. Okay. So I've got to go in here and filter it down to exactly what I want. And here's how I'm going to do it. All right. I'm going to change the miles from the zip code. I'm going to change it to 100 miles radius. And then I'm going to pick a zip code that's in the Kansas City area. Minimum price, maximum price, I don't care. Bedrooms and all that, I don't care just yet. I'm going to slide down here, housing type. I'm going to click that. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to check mark house. Okay. Let's see. Anything else that I might want to do? I don't know. It looks like that's a good place to start. So let's go ahead and update search. Okay. Now I still have a bunch of stuff in here. Guarantee you that I don't want. See, there's 1,319 different listings here. That's going to cost too much. It's more than I need. Plus there's a bunch of garbage in here. So I have to come up here to the search bar and hit the minus button. Okay. Start typing, hit the minus, and then I'm going to take out apartment. Okay. Comma, minus realtor. Okay. Comma, minus manager, management. Is that how you spell it? Minus realty, minus loft, minus what else could I minus here?
New construction.
Agent, minus construction. Okay. You can't do 2 words. You can do 1 word at a time. Minus what else? Help me out, gang.
Add-on.
Are you opposed to houses that have an add-on?
No, but if it's for rent, the add-on.
Huh.
I came in late.
What do you mean? How do I spell it? ADD-ON? Like that? Would that work?
Yeah, sorry, it said sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Hey, good to see you, Brett.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right, dude. Anybody else got what else could I what do I not want to talk to? What am I trying to take out of this list here?
Minus mobile.
Oh, yeah, mobile homes maybe. Okay. What else might I take out? Anything else? Okay.
Condos.
Okay, if you don't like condos, and like Victor Walker was saying the other day, he doesn't like condos. Okay, so there's all that, What else could we take out of there?
Probably rooms. I don't know. Sometimes they have rooms for rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we put rooms in there, we're going to delete a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Because there might be great listings in there we want that say 3-bed room.
Yeah.
bonus
Yeah.
room, stuff like that. So we have to be careful here to not pick words that might be what we want, though. Okay, because we're looking, so we have to be cunning here a little. And it's helpful that we're doing it together. We're brainstorming. So Power Rangers.
Attachment.
All right. Any other thing we can think of?
Attachment, maybe.
Okay, let's just give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. Attachment. All right. Let's go ahead and hit next. Not next. Let's hit the hourglass here to complete our search. Okay, we only got rid of about 200. Okay, that's still
owner occupied. No.
No, I think you'd want those. Definitely want those. So here's how I whittle it down now. So remember, we didn't do bedrooms or baths or any of that. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the 3 bedrooms minimum. And that changes it to 569. Okay. That's about what I'm talking about. All right. Now I could easily get to 2,500 here, like going to 2 or 3 different markets. This is just one market, Kansas City, Missouri, 100-mile radius. Nevertheless, it's the Kansas City market. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to automated REI. Instead of doing this default scraping thing and picking all this information, if I click this radio button right here, it says submit Craigslist URL. It changes the screen for me, and it only has one blank to fill in. That blank is this right here. So back at that Craigslist list where we've got it filtered out just the way we want it, okay, with the minuses, and over here with the zip code and the mile radius and the bedrooms and all that we did. We got a list we want. So here I'm going to highlight the domain address. It's real long and ugly. I'm going to hit Control C at the same time, or I could right click it and hit copy. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to automated REI and I'm just going to simply paste it right there. So Control V at the same time, or I can right click and hit paste and put it right there. Now, once I've done that, I can hit check data count. It's going to think for a few seconds. It's going to tell me 569 targeted Craigslist listings. Okay. For $17. All right. I could proceed, but let's not do it just so hastily. Let's go back to Craigslist and take a look. Is there anything else that we could change here that might be better for us? Anything we see at all?
The mileage, decrease the mileage?
Well, you could decrease the mileage if you wanted to lower this down. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah. So should we? Bundle duplicates. Okay. See if we could get rid of duplicates.
That's good. I didn't know you could do that.
Okay. So we still have 569 though. Okay. Posted today. Maybe we would want to check that out. Oh, only 3. Okay. Only 3. Here's a tip. If you're doing your local market and you want to do it on no money spent on marketing, set up this right here, this scrape exactly as we did it today. Go to a website called ifttt.com and you can you sign up for an account over here. It's free. I believe still to this day free. It's been free for a long time.
I think they changed it.
Did they change it? Okay.
Yeah, because I used to use that all the time.
I also have a Craigslist app on my phone that I got from the Play Store. It was free. And it has a search ability like this. And then you can save the search. See right here, I can save the search. Okay. But what I'm trying to get is set up where I get this notification. Okay. This right here is basically, in a nutshell, what Investor Deal Pro is doing for you. Okay. So if you've got Investor Deal Pro, basically this is what that's automating. You could automate this in another way if you wanted to. All right. I'm just saying, just point of fact. All right. But nevertheless, that is a way you could drip in your local market by having leads come in like that. Okay. If you wanted to just do this stuff manually, we're not doing it manually today. We put it in here. We're going to check the data count. All right. Let me go ahead, since we made a couple changes, highlight that browser link again, copy it. I'm going to go back over here. Oops, to automated REI. I'm going to repaste it in here because it's slightly different because I've made a few changes. And then I'm going to check the data count again. Okay. 3. Okay. So that's not what I want. So I'm going to go back and undo some of the changes we've made, and then we'll be good to go. Okay. Hold on here. What changes did I make? Oh, posted today. Okay. Posted today. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. Now I got to copy this again. Control C. I'm going to go back to automated REI, and I'm going to put it right here where it belongs. Just tap, tap, tappy, tappy. It's not too good for its home, Rick. It's not too good for its home. It wanted to go home, and I sent it home. There it is. 569. $17.07. Okay. I'm going to hit proceed. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit create campaign. Okay. Now that's just one market area. Okay. Just one market area. I have the entire state. I did so many more markets last week. So many more. So the well is very deep here. All right. There's no end to the data that you can get.
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
Do you want to filter rent to owns out of that list? So maybe minus own.
Yeah, there you go. That's an excellent idea. Yeah. Minus own. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. Let me go back there to automated REI and Craigslist here. Craigslist. Let's go up here to the search bar, and we'll hit minus own. Okay. Now I'm going to hit the hourglass again, or the magnifying glass. Oh, brought it down. Woo! Brought it down to 320. Okay. All right. I don't mind there being some rent to own in there because I may form a joint venture partnership with the relationship with the person. But, I'm not opposed to you guys taking those out if you don't feel comfortable with that. That's fine. 320 though. See, it cut it down pretty good. Cut it down pretty good. Let's share this whiteboard one more time, and let's talk about some rules again. Okay. If I have 586, I believe it was, scrapes, and if I am successful in getting let's say, I don't know how many phone numbers out of those, but if let's say I'm just going to guess at 500. Okay. Let's just say for this example of math. All right. 500. Then how many phone numbers and how many text messages in my text message template machine do I need? Anybody know? 10. So tomorrow we're going to have to write 10 text messages to cover our 586 scrapes. Actually, we're going to have 12. Okay. We're going to have 12 text messages. Why do I say 12? Because the rule is 50, okay, per day, per message, per outbound number. Okay. If you abide by that rule, you will stay successful flying underneath the radar The carriers will not spam, catch you in their spam filters. You won't have that problem. You'll have a lot more success in getting the message out and getting replies back. Okay. So that means we have to have sufficient amounts of phone numbers to send from and messages in our text message rotation. We're going to set all of that up tomorrow. Okay. All right. So just so you know, as you're doing these scrapes, okay, don't pull up a scrape like the one that I just did originally and it has 1,748. Do you know how many phone numbers you're going to need to do 1,748? Do you know how many text messages you're going to have to write? Okay. Like 35, I think is what it is. Something like that. I mean, it's a lot. Okay. It's a bunch. So bite off chunks you can chew. Okay. And meaning, you can handle the amount, but also you have enough, messages and you have enough phone numbers to support that blast. Okay. Does that make sense, guys and gals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, great. I know it's a little redundant. It is 50 per phone number, per message, per day.
So Justin,
you got me, but you lost me at. It was supposed to be 10, but then you said 12 because you wanted to have extra. I said 12 because I have 586 Craigslist scrapes. Right. Oh,
so to be safe, I really need 12. However, just by virtue of how this machine works, it's not going to grab all of the phone numbers because not all of those Craigslist ads have phone numbers. Some of them are reply by email only. So we're probably safe with 10, you're right.
I don't know how many else there'd be.
But I'm doing the math. Hold on. Let me find Larry.
Yes.
He's on the phone.
So Justin, just like on not Craigslist, what is it? Zillow, it doesn't have the names, right? Because I haven't done I haven't done the Craigslist scrape yet.
Right. Yeah, it's the same kind of deal where it's only going to be able to grab what's on the ad to grab.
Right. So when you have your VA to call back, do you have her so when we send the text messages out, like prime example, the text messages that you gave me, right? It don't come with their first name or whatever. So do you have your VA to look do you have your VA to look up the positive ones? You have them to look up their contact information and kind of do a little research on the property before you call them, or do you just have her to call them and then if it's a positive let's go lead, then you do that?
I don't do any research on any of these ever before we call them.
Okay.
We just call them. We don't know their names or anything. Okay. Most of the time.
Okay.
We don't know. Hey, we saw your property on Craigslist. Sent you a text. Is this a good time? Sounds like we caught you in the middle of something. Boom. We're right into it. Who am I speaking with? Okay, LaShonda. Great. I'm Justin. Pre-qualification script begins.
Got it.
That kind of thing. Okay.
Justin?
Yes.
You were saying about JVing, you might JV with him. So in that, do you have to differentiate if they're a regular seller or a wholesaler, or what agreement would you use? Would you use the flex or would you use the JV?
Yeah, if you were going to joint venture wholesale with another lease option wholesaler, what agreement?
No, a landlord.
Oh, a landlord. Yeah, you would just use a purchase and sale agreement and contract it like that.
That's how you would JV?
No, I'm not understanding the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, when you were looking up on Craigslist and you were putting a negative keyword,
Yeah.
You said, you know, I don't want to leave out. I think it was room or something, and you said I might want to JV with some people. You know, JV with some of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you meant
Yeah.
the landlords who were wholesalers or the landlords that were just regular people, you know, sellers.
No. Let me clear that up. That's two different things we were talking about. One, we were talking about minus owned to take out the rent to owns in the listings.
Okay.
Because we may not be comfortable with joint venturing yet with another lease option wholesaler, which is the same thing as joint venturing with an ugly house, to be honest with you. Okay. It's just you're finding a tenant buyer instead of a cash buyer.
Okay.
All right. So there's, if you don't want to do that, then you put minus own. Okay. There was a different suggestion, however, to put in minus room, because we might want to take out those that are room for rent. Okay.
Right.
Room for rent. All right. We actually removed room for rent when we went to the left on Craigslist and scrolled down and selected house.
Right.
Do you remember? You guys
Yes.
remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't really need to do minus room for rent. Okay. So two different things there, Debbie. Does that clear it up for you a little bit?
So it does. That cleared up perfectly. Thank you. So when you get a
this isn't
landlord-
Debbie. I'm sorry. This is Mary.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry, Mary.
That's okay. I've been called a lot. But anyway, got different names. I think good. But if it's a regular seller who's been a landlord, okay, and you find them on here, you would have to, in order to purchase it, you could use a flex, right? But you couldn't JV.
No, you wouldn't be joint venturing, because you would be going what's considered direct to seller. So you would be if you're going to JV, you would be the partner that has the contract with the seller. Yeah. And then your JV partner would be someone bringing you a tenant buyer. But in that case, it could be anything, guys. You can assign anything in the world. Okay. Anything but your kids, and maybe even that. Okay. You can assign them away. All right. You can assign anything. Actually, you actually can your kids. So if it's a sub 2, guess what? You could assign a sub 2. You could. What if it's a lease option you get with the guy? What if it's a landlord that lets you do a lease option? What if it's a for sale by owner that lets you do a lease option? Sure, you can assign that away. You can get owner finance and assign that. Okay. You can assign any strategy. So it doesn't matter, whatever fits that homeowner. If you want to apply a technique, you certainly can, if he's open to it.
Justin.
Yeah.
When you if the numbers aren't in there and you have to email them, and that's the only way you have to. Now, do you do a carbon copy email, or do you email them individually, or how do you email with so many people?
Okay, let me talk about that. Let's take this quiz real quick. Pop quiz. If I have 350 scrapes on Zillow or Craigslist, how many phone numbers do I have to have, guys? I want to make sure you understand the math. How many?
7.
7. How many text messages do I need?
7.
7. Okay. Now, let's say I have 420 scrape. Okay. How many phone numbers do I need?
21. You said what now? 420.
How many do I need?
9.
8.
9. Why not
9?
8?
Okay.
Yeah, because you 8.4. So you're gonna need 9.
Exactly. So how many texts in rotation?
I would do 9.
9. It's always the same. Yeah. So this is the bare minimum, guys. 9 on that. Okay. So you guys got the math figured out. Okay. So when you're emailing these guys, what we used to do before automated REI existed was I had a virtual assistant that I hired from Bangladesh. And all he would do is he would pull up that Craigslist like that with the filters like we just did. And he would start not text messaging, but yes, text messaging and emailing manually. Okay. Not with automated REI or some blaster, manually. Okay. So the same message every time, copy and paste. But since then, they have cracked down on that. You can't copy and paste like that more than about 10 or 20 times before they flag you. Okay. And put you in some kind of Craigslist prison. All right. And you don't want that. All right. That's bad.
Hey, Justin.
So it's like Facebook group posting. You have to be careful, guys. Rick, what's up?
Do you think it's still tagged or flagged if you do if you insert a tag into the message, like hi and their first name and then the message? I've been doing that and haven't really seen much of a difference or not. So I was just curious if you ran across that. You seen 50 being hit or not? I'm not sure.
I don't use it, brother.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just checking, man.
I don't use the plug and play words. Hey, hi, first name, which is going to be their name, and then I saw your property address. That's going to be their property address in the message. Okay. That's all slick and everything. Unnecessary.
Yeah. I've been using just their first name just to kind of see. So I just haven't really noticed much of a change at all, but just curious. Thanks, man.
Well, Justin, can I elaborate on that? From my understanding, from the research and stuff that I have been doing, the reason why some people suggest to put that in there because it kind of like make your message different from everybody else's.
Yeah. Because
you throwing in either your name or their name or the property address instead of it just being like a hi, I'm looking to buy your house 350,000 times. They say that if you put like your name in there or the placeholder or whatever the heck they call it for the address or the seller's name, it kind of breaks it up. So it won't look so spammy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. All good ideas. If you want to use it, great. No problem. I don't. That's just personal preference. I'll tell you why I don't, though. I'm afraid. Okay. I'm afraid. I shake and shiver when I think that this might not work right. And they get a text message from me that literally says, hi, first name. I saw your property address instead of plugging it in right. I bite my nails. I'm like, I hope that shit works. Okay. It probably does. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I just like to keep it super simple. The more things you add to it, the more things that could go wrong. That's how I see it, but that's just me being a negative, pragmatic bastard. Okay. 113, guys. We've been going for quite a while. Larry G asked in the chat, is that Larry here in the chat room, in the Zoom room, or is this a different Larry? Justin, how have you found widespread popularity? Aaron's showing us his screen. Did you mean to, Aaron? Okay. How have you found widespread popularity of tools like these to affect ability to get good deals? I'm referring to versus the competition. In other words, what he's saying is, Justin, are there a lot of people using automated REI, using your messages, your ideas? Does it affect, I'll be honest with you, Larry. No, it doesn't really affect. Okay. That's why there are so many coaches and people like me and just spilling the beans. All right. I'm not the only one, but I'm spilling the beans and I don't care because the honest truth, the heartbreaking truth is that 9 out of 10 people won't even try. Okay. They'll have, we have a great group here in the VIP. These are some of the triers. Okay. These are the ones that are doers. All right. These are not the ones I'm referring to, but a lot of people that hear my content, they never, ever, ever even try. They buy Freedom Soft, for example. They buy PropStream, for example. And it's like a dream they bought and set on the coffee table, and they look at it and it's like, oh yeah, one of these days. I've even got the tools. Oh yeah. You want to talk about real estate? I'll blow your mind. I know some stuff about real estate, but I ain't really done nothing. That's most people. So I don't really worry about the competition, Larry. You shouldn't either, man. Just get busy doing it and you'll blow the competition away in no time.
How do you keep your motivation up?
I stay hungry.
Get a check. Get that one check. It'll get up there.
Well, I found the money to be not enough motivation for me personally. Okay, so I put myself in positions where I feel like I have no choice to do the work. Okay, that's literally the only thing that works for me. I'll put myself in a position where I have to do the work. For example, I have a team that if I don't pull my weight, guess what? Man, my whole world burns down. You know what I mean? Like, this is not even funny. I could have went and played with my new Nintendo Switch. If I chose to do that instead of doing the work that I need to do to help my closer today, close some deals and follow up on some things, if I choose to not do that, guess what? None of us make any money. I lose him. I lose his virtual assistant along with it. Okay. That puts me in a crippled position for my disposition side. So now my disposition side is like, hey, we don't have any deals. What do we do? Okay. Now I lose them. Okay. I can't afford to, man. I can't afford to. I put myself in a have-to scenario. The club here is another have-to scenario for me. I get a lot of accountability out of you guys. Okay. If I fuck around too much, y'all can tell. Okay. I gotta stay sharp and I know it. So I do it. Now, how do you do that? I don't know. A lot of people say this, you got to do it for your kids, man. You know what? Most of us are like, you know what? Fuck them little bastards. You know, they eat my food. They make messes. They don't clean up. You know what I mean? I can't do shit for, I'm already doing everything for them. Well, it's the kids. I don't know. Maybe you're different. Okay. I love the kids, but
I pay for everything. And my 20-year-old tries to tell me what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And
they nice until they become teenagers. It's like, who are you? What happened to my nice little 7-year-old son? You got this, teenagers, man. That's why I don't want no more kids. I'm too old, and I've already gave my donation. 3 kids, they all 3 grown.
Dude, I feel the same way, man. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm glad to be walking towards it. I'm not interested in starting no new young families or anything.
When I go to look for a wife, the youngest I'm born is 50. That's the cutoff. Anything younger than that is child. I see a child support bill, man.
Yeah. Well, let's change the subject.
Let's change it. You didn't answer my question about the email. We started
okay, what was the email?
So I was asking you because you started talking about the text messages and the pop quiz. So what I was saying to you is asking is if there's no phone numbers and you have to email them, right? So I've created an email account with Gmail that's kind of similar to my business name. Now, how do you suggest I email them? Am I putting all of their addresses in like the carbon copy section and emailing them, or am I emailing these leads individually?
Yeah, individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but now you have to change the messages up a little bit each time. Okay, and you don't want to do more than, let's say, 10, every couple hours maybe. You know, I don't really remember what the exact numbers are. I'm going to have to ask somebody because they change pretty frequently. And I got a feeling that they changed recently. And I was told what they are, but I can't recall it at the moment. Okay. So on the email game on that, we don't put our eggs in that basket so much here. Okay. So lately we don't even mess with the emails. We'll blast what we can on the phone numbers. Okay. But with that being said, I also recognize that technique is much more expensive. Okay. Because I have to go see what I would normally do is I would go ahead that whole 1,700 or whatever, a 1,500. I wouldn't filter it so much because I want to get more phone numbers. Okay.
But so the ones you don't have phone numbers for, you just don't even play with them because you say you don't even do emails anymore. So if there's no phone numbers, you just disregard those leads. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if others can afford that. Okay. If, in other words, that's going to shrink down your leads.
Right.
So if you email the message to those, wonderful. Okay. I don't, but that's because I can afford to just go big numbers, for text messages.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything either, y'all. I'm just saying I'm lazy like that. I'd rather spend the money now and just get the damn phone numbers and just go on with it and forget those. But that's me. Okay. You don't have to do it like me. All right. Any other questions or anything, guys? So yes, go ahead, Anthony.
Okay. This is just a random question about incoming voicemail. So if you're not call forwarding when you're blasting your text and it goes to a voicemail, do I want a more company oriented voicemail or do I want it to be more personable? Like, hey, you've reached Anthony. What works better, in other words, when people reach your voicemail?
Yeah. Y'all remember that music I was playing earlier in the Q&A and it was like annoying everybody. And finally somebody spoke up and said, hey, you guys have some kind of radio on or something? I went to Fiverr.com and I hired a virtual assistant with a radio voice. It was like, I am your virtual assistant with smooth radio voice to record whatever you want done professional. Okay. And so I heard this guy. I don't remember what I paid, man. It was quite a bit actually, I think, but I got this voicemail record. I'll see if I can find it. I think I still have it somewhere. I'll see if I can find it sometime, but yeah, it was so professional. It had the music in the background and it was like, hi, thank you for calling Mo2 Homes. That's what I used to call the business. But he said, thank you for calling Mo2 Homes, where we help unqualified home, whatever it is, on and on, sales pitch. No one's available to take your call right now, but it is very, very important to us. Please leave your message after the tone. And remember, you can visit our website at www.blahblahblah.com. Have a great day. Beep. Nobody ever, ever, ever wants to hear that kind of shit. Horrible results.
It wouldn't make it through it.
No, man, they hung up the first 2 seconds. They're like, I'm not talking to some damn robot. Like I was calling because I saw a bandit sign or I saw this or they sent me a message or an email or whatever. And what is this? I don't need to apply for some kind of help or anything. Exactly. What kind of company is this? I'm off. Okay. So now my voicemail message is just this. It's just me. And you can call me today and I'll let it go to voicemail for you if you want. And you can listen to the voicemail message, but it's just this. Hi, I'm Justin. I'm not able to take your call right now. It's important to me. Leave a message after the tone and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day. Beep. That's it. Works perfect. Okay. So don't overachieve on that kind of stuff. It's unnecessary. The more authentic and genuine your entire marketing scheme is, the better. Right?
It's relatable. Relatable.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Why are you here today? Was it because of a video you saw? Is that how you first saw me? And at some point in watching the videos or hanging around the Facebook group or something, you must have thought, wow, this guy seems different. This guy, he's kind of a nice guy. I think I kind of relate to him. I mean, he says things that are funny. He must think kind of like me. You know? Yeah. What if your marketing did that? What if your text message was just a dude hitting up another dude? What if your voicemail was just a dude not answering the phone? You know? Versus this, the professional voicemail, or versus ring, 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 ring. We're sorry. The voicemail box number you have dialed is full. I hate that stuff. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything else? Love y'all. Sorry, I just get going on stuff. You could say, Justin, talk about fried chicken for the next 30 minutes. And I'd be like, okay, no problem. I could talk about anything for 30 minutes. Easy. So sorry, I get going, y'all. I'm just a talker. Anything else?
Did you really want to talk about fried chicken? Because I used to sell fried chicken systems.
I'll tell you what, I believe in a creator. I call him God, and I believe that he made humankind. And our purpose on this planet is mostly just to have fun and eat fried chicken. That's really what I believe. If you want to know Justin's religious beliefs, that's about the sum of it right there. There's a couple other things, but that's pretty much the basis of it. Have fun and eat fried chicken, guys. What else is there?
Sounds like Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffet. All right, guys. I love you. Have a blessed day. Go do Zillow or go do Craigslist today, but get some leads. All right. Won't take you long. Mimic it, imitate it, whatever it is. Just go get your hometown, go get your home state, whatever it is, but pull some off of there. All right. That's all you got to do. And tomorrow we're going to set up the text rotation, and we're going to set up the phone numbers, and we're going to make sure our pre-qualification script is congruent with what we're doing this week. Okay. Love you guys. Anything else?
You have a blessed one, champ.
You too, dude. Love you all. You guys fire me up.
Woo!
See y'all.
Thanks, Justin. Do it to it.
We'll see you guys.
Yep. Money making Mondays. Money making Mondays.
Heck yeah. Got to get that money. I can't find the button.
Take care, man.
It disappeared on me. I can't turn it off. What would I do if I can't find it? I can't figure out how to turn it off. What in the world? It's gone.
Yes, we're going 24 on this one.
We're going live 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm for real. Oh, there it is. All right. I love you guys. Have a great